Hey guys, talking today about protein and protein consumption. Kind of disclaimer is this is not meant to be medical advice. You should always consult with a healthcare practitioner, getting some blood work done. There's proper ways to do this. However, I'm going to add that, which most of these videos do not have, but I'm going to talk about a couple of things we can talk about for getting more protein. So if you've gotten medical advice, which is again what I recommend, and one of the recommendations is get more protein into your diet. Here we're going to talk about some options to make your life easier and my life easier, because I end up answering these questions a lot and walking people through it, so I can now just send you this video. So if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Let's go through it. And again, we are big Costco people. As much as we want to get as much as we can from farms and kind of the smaller guy, we just moved here, so we're in the process of finding some of those farms. There are a few good ones if you're just ordering meat. US Wellness, Belcampo Farms, Carnivore MD. If you look at his stuff, he has a few links to some different stuff. But anyway, we'll talk about meats and a few of these other concepts. And if you have questions, of course, leave them in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. So, eggs, very simple. Hard-boiled eggs. I just boiled 10 eggs. I go to Costco again and I get the best quality that I can. That's another concept, is get the best quality you can. 10 eggs, just boiled. I should have had the boiling effect. But anyway, that just came off. We're going to put those in so they're in the fridge and I can have them whenever I want. Just for a little bit of taste or whatever, we have this like everything bagel seasoning or buttery steakhouse thing. So you just put that on there, hot sauce, whatever keeps your palate kind of excited to continue to eat these kind of generally bland sources of protein, okay? Chia seeds is another one real quick. It's not super high in protein, so like per serving, 1 tablespoon, it only has 3 grams of protein, but it's something that I like to include into if I'm having a bowl of cereal or something like that, just to get a little extra protein throughout the day. Same thing with like these mini beef sticks, and you can get some jerky. Again, get the best quality beef you can. This little guy has 4 grams of protein, so again, if we're hiking, if we're out working out or whatever, we're on a longer day, it's just a nice thing to have. Or again, if I'm super busy and I just want a little snack between patients or sessions or anything like that, 4 grams right there. I want to talk about fish in general. So we have the Safe Catch Ahi Wild Yellowfin Tuna, as well as some sardines. These are skinless and boneless. I actually prefer the skin and the bones because there's a lot of micro nutrition on top of the protein. But real quick on here, 22 grams of protein in a can of sardines, and it's all about making it palatable. So again, we get Costco pre-made salads. We'll put the salad in a little bowl, throw the whole can in there, take the stuff out first, but before you throw that in, recycle also. But yeah, sardines and smaller fish, always look for wild caught. There's definitely some brands that are better, but the smaller fish tend to accumulate less toxins like mercury. These guys, Safe Catch, they really push that branding, and they say every tuna is mercury tested. I don't know if that means it has no mercury or below a certain level, I'm sure is what it is. So I'm putting a little bit of trust in that. Feel free to comment below if you're doing more research than and have higher standards of what you're looking for, but it's something to consider. So again, when I talk about tuna, bigger fish, I'm saying let's do it less frequently, but let's include it in, because again, it's a really good source of protein. It shouldn't be your go-to every single day, in my opinion. It's nice to have a few of these guys. Like this is a really good brand. I was going to show this. You throw these in the fridge. This is Veggies Made Great. Yeah, you can get in there, hon. Veggies Made Great. And they have a few different ones. And basically, again, super easy. Throw it in the fridge, and it's a quick snack. You'll also notice this does have some dairy. We're working dairy out of our system. But you can get cheeses. You can get cold cuts as well. Not the best quality generally. And again, for me, recovering now from COVID pneumonia, I'm trying to avoid as much dairy as possible. So we do have some of these.
What are these?
Sorry, these are little frittatas. Appreciate that, hon. So frittatas, again, that have some vegetables, spinach. I think there's red pepper in there. There's a little bit of cheese, and there's egg that's been all put in there together. Very tasty. Again, throw it in there. I think it's 75 seconds or something like that.
58 or 55.
55 seconds, whatever it is. Put it on a paper towel. Boom, you have a little snack, right? Cool. Good source, again, of protein. Another last couple ones we're gonna go to here. Protein shakes. So this is an individual serving. Generally, good quality protein, again, is a good thing to look for. This is 25 to 30 grams of protein that you're gonna get out of most protein shakes. Again, I would recommend against pea protein That's a big thing that's come out. So if you do have some problems with whey for any reason, again, you have to do the best you can with whatever other sources of protein there are. But something like pea protein for me specifically is worth avoiding, as the research is not super kind to, and the analogy I say is, again, if you want to get the same 25 grams of protein, this might be like this big of a piece of meat, right? Something that fits into my palm. If you wanted to get that from peas, you would need like this many peas to equate that much protein. So that's where I just generally really simply avoid something like a pea protein for my own sake. Again, you can make that choice. We can have that discussion. But protein shakes, not the most ideal source of protein usually, but something good as a supplement to get an extra 25 grams of protein somewhere in the day, especially if you're doing a harder workout. That's a good thing to do. Okay, bone broth, and this is just a simple, again, one that we found at Costco, chicken bone broth. This is 10 grams of protein. You just put this in with some hot water, and you have a nice little thing you can sip on, again, if you're in the middle of Zoom meetings or whatever. Some people will do this instead of coffee in the morning. Super simple, super easy. And again, if you can get better quality bone broth, make your own bone broth. If you want to get real fancy, use a slow cooker, all that stuff. Lexi's looking for some bone broth now. Anyway, oh, she's looking to throw balls around. Look at that. So bone broth is a really good one. And again, Costco that I'll mention, keep shouting them out. They should give me a little sponsorship. This is also from Costco, but the bone broth thing, they have a full-on, very high quality one that's relatively cheap. And I just get that sometimes, and we'll kind of sip on that from time to time. Collagen is the last one I'll talk about. Lexi really wants to play catch. Collagen, this one, chocolate, by the way, has very low hit of sugar, and they use stevia leaf, and the protein in here is 18 grams for 2 scoops. I actually only ever use 1 scoop, and so I'm getting 9 grams of protein in my coffee, along with only 45 calories. That's kind of the hit there. So collagen in general is going to help your nails grow, your hair grow, and it's just helping rebuild the gut in a lot of ways. So it's a really good source. Some people will say, I don't want to include this as part of my daily total protein. But again, that's all debatable. So I think that's it. Did I miss anything, woman, honey?
I'm sure there's a lot more we can talk about, but for now.
I think that's the majority of stuff. She's a thirsty girl. That's Lexi drinking water, not Maha. And she's holding the camera with the pinky up. That's fun. So she's very fancy. Anyway, a bunch of other supplements we could talk about. Amino acids. Sorry, there was one other thing. I had a client just talking. She asked me about beans. Okay, how do I feel about beans? Which is considered a decent source of protein. There are, I believe, 23 amino acids, is either 1 or 2 off. And so beans are not a complete source of protein. In fact, for vegans, vegetarians, they actually have to make sure they're eating rice and beans to get the full complement of all the amino acids so that it's a complete source of protein. I actually think it has to go above 18 of the 23 or something like that. There's all sorts of funky math. At the end of the day, though, as we always talk about, and I talk about a lot with my clients, pay attention to what your body's telling you. So with any of these things, if you're not tolerating well, how do we know we're not tolerating it well? A lot of times, what's the old joke from childhood? Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. So if beans make you fart, then something's probably not good with what's going on there. You can soak them for 24 hours to prepare them better. But at the end of the day, it's worth, and what I recommend is the kind of paleo approach of eliminating that for 30 days, reintroducing it on day 31, some version of it, and slowly kind of seeing what your tolerance is to those beans. So not the absolute best. Again, we just generally don't include it in our diet because of some of those reasons of
unless we're having tacos.
Unless we're, yeah, again,
or
like,
fajitas.
we're right. We're not like 100% no beans ever, but it's just not something we're going to go out of our way to purchase for a lot of those reasons, because we've played around with experimenting without it, reintroducing it. Similar to the dairy, it's just not the best thing for my body, for this one's body, and it's worth, again, doing the experiment on yourself. Cool? Anything else I miss? No?
I don't
Woman?
think so.
No? Dog? Lexi, did we miss anything? No? Okay.
You're missing the ball.
There you go. So, again, plenty of other ways we can get some protein in. Oh, sorry. One last thing I thought of. Similar to the eggs, okay, if you're cooking dinner and that's the only time you really prepare, take that time to, you have stuff going on, that's your cooking time. Prepare, even if it's for 2 days, 3 days, a little bit of extra meat, fish, anything like that that's going to be a ready, easy, available source of protein that you can then put in, kind of like the eggs. So if you have a few pieces of steak, beef, whatever it is, meatballs, whatever you want to do, take that time, think of the next 2 or 3 days so that tomorrow for lunch, you can just grab something out of the fridge and boom, I just have this meat ready to go, okay? Or this source of protein, whatever it is, meat, fish, any of that fun stuff. So think about that to kind of, again, add more, make it easier, right? A lot of what I work with people on is reducing the barriers to hitting some of our nutritious goals. So that's something that we always want to keep working on. I think that's it. I'm going to let it go there. I hope this got you at least 1% better today and hope you get some protein in. Again, if you have any questions, shoot them down below, reach out to me directly, and I love y'all. Peace.